The #1 team in the nation, Nebraska, led by Heisman Trophy contender Eric Crouch, is up against the #2 rated defense in the nation, Texas Tech, as College Football Saturday brings you a prime-time college football doubleheader. Next, can anyone stop the Big Red Machine? Last week, quarterback Eric Crouch had 164 yards in the air and 138 yards on the ground, helping the Cornhuskers to capture the top spot on the rushing charts and the polls. But Texas Tech is a big bump in the road towards the Huskers National Championship. The Red Raiders have the #2 rated defense in the nation and a record-setting QB of their own in Cliff Kingsbury. Then, later tonight, another QB, Marcus Tuiasosopo, leads 11th-ranked Washington into the desert night air to battle Pac-10 rival Arizona State. But now, the #1 team in the nation continues its quest towards a national championship as Nebraska goes live in Lubbock next on Fox Sports Net.
Football has come to a sold-out Jones SBC Stadium in Lubbock, Texas, where the Red Raiders of Texas Tech have won 9 in a row, but today it is their biggest challenge yet as they take on the undefeated and top-ranked Nebraska Cornhuskers. Hello again, everybody. Along with James Lofton, I'm Ron Thulin, and this is really a game of strength versus strength. Nebraska's offense, #5 overall in college football, versus the #2 overall defense in college football with Texas Tech. But if you're Nebraska, it begins with your quarterback, Eric Crouch.
Well, it certainly does, and when you play quarterback, it doesn't matter what style of offense you play. It's about decision-making, and Eric Crouch, whether it's running the option or deciding who to throw to in a play-action pass, he makes great decisions. Now, defensively, this team is piloted by Carlos Hope. He's the bus driver, and this defense hit a bit of a speed bump. Look what they did the first 3 ball games, and the last 2 ball games, very uncharacteristic of the black shirts for Nebraska.
Well, they will have their hands full today as Texas Tech will throw the ball all over the place about 76% of the time, and they're led by a sophomore quarterback by the name of Cliff Kingsbury.
And they may throw 76 times in this ballgame. This team loves to put it up. They talk about control passing. Well, it's just passing all over the place. And Cliff Kingsbury, look at his numbers that he puts up per game so far. 56 times on the attempts, 30 completions, and almost 300 yards per game. And you know what? Ron, he's going to have to do better than that to beat Nebraska today.
He has quite a challenge, but if you like offense, this is the place to be. The question is, whose defense will step forward first and stop the other's offense? Texas Tech needs help from their secondary with Curtis and their linebackers of Pitts and Flugents. More on the defense when we return to Lubbock. The Red Raiders touching the saddle. They are ready to go, along with our 3rd member of our broadcast team, Eric Clemens. And Eric, Texas Tech has a linebacker that has to step up big this evening in Lawrence Flugents.
Absolutely they do, Ron. You know, Nebraska has a huge offensive line to spark that ground attack. They average 304 pounds a man. The Tech linebackers and defensive ends average over 224 a man, so that's a big disadvantage. But they have a quicker, more aggressive unit led by Lawrence Flugents, a sophomore middle linebacker, just a utility man. Last year leads the nation, averaging 13 tackles a game. Their defense is going to have to come up with a lot of big plays to give them a shot tonight against #1 Nebraska. Guys?
All right, thanks, Eric. It's beginning to sprinkle on Jones SBC Stadium. Temperature in the low 70s. It is windy, and we are expecting some thunderstorms as we look at first-year head coach Mike Leach. And we are ready. Newcomb and Walker are back. This is with a very strong wind, and Nebraska is just going to down it. They'll begin 1st and 10 from their own 20. They come in with a #1 rush offense in the NCAA, over 350 yards a game on the ground. Quarterback, of course, is Eric Crouch. 19-3 as a starter. Didn't practice Wednesday. Has some bumps and bruises. He's healthy today. The line averages over 300 pounds. They can wear a defensive line down. And the running backs and wide receivers, the I-back Dan Alexander leads the Big 12 in yards per carry. Keep an eye on Tracy Wistrom. He is this team's leading receiver.